If you're here to listen to two nerds who have no idea what they're talking about, then you're in the right place. This is Theoretical Insights of D&D. Hi, I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Rob.
And we're back at it again. Because Dungeons & Dragons, believe it or not, is now, or has been in the popular media. So much, in fact, that it has its own very popular, and I'll say successful movie out. Have you seen it yet, Rob?
I have not, and people are starting to rub it in my face in the fact that I just don't have time.
It's pretty good. I recommend it.
Between work and TD6 and all that, I just don't have time. But before we move on to the important stuff, I've got a really important thing. For those of you that did not see the post that was made on the Theoretical Insights of D&D Facebook page, and if you're not following us, please do. We post at least once a month,
If that.
I'm falling down on my job because I'm trying to write TD6, but it is what it is. Jeremiah, you took some vows this past weekend.
I'm a paladin.
Yeah. Vowed to the fidelity of one Gwen.
Yeah, I got married over the weekend.
You remember all those married jokes you were making last year? Like, the only rock you've got is the ring and all those married jokes. Yeah, now I can start making them towards you now, but
Yeah, a fun fact, my wedding ring actually has a D20 on it. I'm that big of a geek.
It's probably the only 20 you're going to roll anytime soon, too.
Hey, listen, that's what I'm going to do in combat. I'm going to throw my ring at the tabletop.
There you go.
Crit! Gosh, that would be side note, that would be an interesting subclass for the Paladin. Oath of Marriage.
There you go.
I don't know what it would be, but it'd be something.
But yeah, ladies, for all of you out there that were interested in Jeremiah or not interested, he's now off the market entirely.
I wasn't even on the market, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, every once in a while we don't. But every once in a while somebody get a fan mail like, oh my gosh, I'm such a big fan. I bet you're so pretty to look at. That doesn't happen to us.
Because we're not the best to look at. Or the best to listen to. In fact, I don't know why you're still listening. Just go ahead and stop.
Yeah. But no, I have not seen the Dungeons and Dragons movie yet. I'm wanting to go see it, but it's just a matter of will I have time? Probably not.
It's really good. It really does feel like they took a game that was played by people and then turned it into a movie.
However, I have seen a whole lot of stuff on social media about how Chris Pine's character is apparently a bard, but seemingly does not cast any spells. So there's not so much an uproar, but a little bit of a dialect happening around if he's really a bard or not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously a bard because he's carrying the lute, and he plays it, unless he's just like a rogue that has
performance.
Yeah.
I don't think he is, because most of his shtick as a character is inspiring his allies.
Yeah.
And he's not one to do it on himself or be the expert by himself that can handle it. He relies on his allies a lot, and he inspires them, he bolsters them with his words, and he definitely plays as a bard.
Yeah. And that brings up an interesting question, because a lot of people are only playing a bard because they are a full caster. And they obviously can get their way in and out of a lot of trouble because of their charisma.
Yeah.
So, how useful or how good can a bard be if you completely take away all spellcasting that they have available?
So you're saying just their first level ability.
Let's just do a martial bard, straight, no spellcasting.
So
because if we're going to give them access to magic and they just don't use it, then that's just the character being played poorly, right?
Yeah.
So let's take the bard and take away spellcasting entirely.
And we still have a strong character class to have.
Yeah.
Well, if we do it level by level, they get spellcasting at first level. That's one of the two things they get.
Yeah, that's out the window.
Spellcasting and Bardic Inspiration, which is a D6. So at first level, you're looking at a character who will have a D8 of a hit dice, so 8 plus whatever their con mod is. And they're probably going to lean more towards the Constitution now that they don't have the thing.
Exactly.
But the problem is, you still want the bard to be charismatic.
Yeah.
So con may not be They'd probably do still charisma and dex.
Yeah, because unless you have a paladin in your party or maybe a sorcerer, your bard is going to be your social aspect guy.
Yeah.
For persuasion, deception, intimidation, anything like that.
Oh, yeah. So, starting off, they're only going to have simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords in the proficiencies, and light armor proficiency. So, we're still not seeing a strong, like, frontline person.
Yeah.
We're seeing an admirable one, but not a strong one.
We're not going to see a strong one until we get into the subclasses.
Yeah. And that's really going to, like, dictate on, like, what kind of bard you're going to play without the spell casting. Now, keep in mind, we're not taking away things that seem like magical effects that are not spells. Like, Song of Rest still stays.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of in, like, the subclass features.
Yeah.
So things that will, like, have...
And the one thing that's extremely important to the bard that requires no magic is the inspiration.
Yeah.
So you're keeping that, and you're keeping the possibility of Song of Rest, because that's just more like a something to help the party rest.
Yeah.
Better.
So, like, at first level, you're getting someone who, has 3 skill proficiencies, charisma and dexterity saving throws.
That's also gaining Jack of all trades at a later level.
At second level.
Yeah.
3 musical instrument proficiencies. So you're still going to have someone who's not going to be useless.
Yeah.
Their charisma is still going to be high, and that persuasion, intimidation, deception, all that stuff is still going to be very useful. And the bardic inspiration,
Yeah. Now, there are specifically 3 subclasses that I have in mind that could work very, very well with this idea.
College of Swords, is that one?
College of Swords is one of them. College of Valor is another one. Now, the 14th level additive of College of Valor won't do you any good if we take away spellcasting completely. But, I mean, it's not really that great anyway, because it's just a bonus action melee weapon attack after you cast a bard spell.
Yeah.
Now, it's all right if you wanted to do, say, Healing Word or Cure Wounds and then make a melee attack. But, other than that, just make because at 6th level, through the College of Valor, you're getting a second attack per action anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not really going to be losing a whole lot on anything outside of your control spells like Fairy Fire and Dissonant Whispers and Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
That's any kind of healing spells.
Stuff. Yeah, that's going to be the hard hitters. But Healing Word, if your DM wanted or was willing to roll it like Baldur's Gate 3, where you can throw the healing potion and do a certain amount of damage, but then roll the effects of the healing potion for that person, you can just do that.
Yeah.
So I think College of Valor, College of Swords. Now here's the one that's going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be, I think, based solely on the charisma. And I think this one would turn more towards the intimidation factor, like that creepy one, the College of Whispers.
Yeah.
Because nowhere does it say that the Psychic Blaze is technically... Well, it says you gain the ability to make your weapon attacks magically toxic to a creature's mind. That's not spellcasting.
No, that's not.
That's an innate ability through the college.
Well, like, before we get too far into subclasses, here's some of the things...
that's really the only 3 that I would see working very well.
Yeah. Some things that you're going to, like, just lose because you won't have access to spells. You'll still get Counter Charm and Expertise, Jack of all trades, Bardic Inspiration, but you'll be losing Magical Secrets, which you get at 10th, 14th, and 18th level, because that just deals with spells. You'll still get the Superior Inspiration at level 20, if you ever reach that level. You probably won't. Now, as far as optional class features, additional Bard spells, lose those. Magical Inspiration, won't get that at all.
Well, see, here's an idea that just came into mind. What if this was a possibility of a subclass creation, to where at 3rd level, if you choose to go the College of whatever you want to call it, right? Because I don't want to come up with a name on the spot. Whatever you decide to call it, loses all spellcasting.
Oh.
But is a mixture of the College of Swords, Valor, and Whispers.
Swords and Valors is already pretty similar.
Well, they are and they're not. specifically, you want the combat inspiration from Valor.
Yeah.
Now, swords, because that's for everybody. Blade Flourish, that's nice, but that's only for yourself.
Okay.
So I would say, this isn't supposed to be so much of a subclass creation episode, but this is just, throwing out there as a possibility to make this possible, because that's what we're kind of trying to do. Is it going to be any good? Is it possible? What would it take for it to be any good or possible? So, take the College of Swords and take their flourishes. You have that. Or you can toss that out entirely.
Okay.
And just take the fighting style that they get at 3rd level.
Okay.
For dueling or 2-weapon fighting. And then on top of that, you give them the combat inspiration, which is going to be like Blade Flourish, but can go to anybody other than yourself. Because like Chris Pines. Yeah, sorry. Chris Pines. I had the Mario movie on my mind.
We gotta make another podcast for that one now.
Yeah. Because like Chris Pine's character, he never really did a whole lot for himself, as far as I know. In combat, he was more along the lines of, hey, you can do it. You got this. Hey, get that sword up their butt. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then obviously, you want the combat inspiration. You want the fighting style. So you're losing the flourishes, which is just more of a selfish... It's not selfish, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's a self-centered. It's a self-centered help, and swapping it out for something that can help the rest of the party.
Okay, I like what
you're also getting the fighting styles. I would probably give it more than just 2. I would probably go archery on there as well, just in case. Also, at 6th level with College of Valor, you're gaining that 2nd attack per action. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, you get that also at 6th level with the College of Swords. So just 2nd attack per action.
Yeah.
This is where you negate the 14th level additive of the Valor College and go with the Swords. Or maybe even you decide to go into Whispers. Because now Whispers, you get... well, it says magically whisper a phrase, but it's not technically spell casting.
Yeah.
Because it's through the college. So, Shadow Lore. When you, as an action, you magically whisper a phrase that only one creature of your choice within 30 feet can hear, makes a wisdom save against your spell save DC. We'll still have that there.
Yeah.
It automatically succeeds if it doesn't share a language with you or if it can't hear you. It's then charmed by you for the next 8 hours or until you or your ally attacks it, damages it, or forces it to make a saving throw. It obeys your commands for fear that you will reveal its secret. It won't risk its life or fight for you unless it was already inclined to do so, and it grants you favors and gifts it would offer to a close friend. Or you could go with the College of Swords, to where now, whenever you use a Blade Flourish option, you can roll a d6 and use it instead of expending a Bardic Inspiration die. So you can play around with that 3rd level, but you got to have combat inspiration. It's just it's got to be there. Or you can do the combat inspiration and say, instead of doing any extra damage, you'll have the combat inspiration, the defensive flourish, and the fighting style.
Another subclass that's maybe adequate for the bard with no spells at all, eloquence.
Yeah.
That'd be more of the support. This would be more of that social pillar of play, because you get Silver Tongue, where you can't roll lower than a 9, or you can, but it's treated as a 10 for persuasion and deception. You've also got Unsettling Words, where you can use the bonus action, expend a Bardic Inspiration, and it basically acts as a bane. You minus it from a person's thing. So all these are relying on that Bardic Inspiration dice instead of spell casting. So this is another good option.
Yeah. And this is also opening up, think for a second, because when you think Bard, you're automatically thinking of the races, especially if you're going back in the old days. Well, I say old days, but the original 5e, where you got your stat increases from your race instead of just saying, hey, you can get a +1 into 2 of any one you want.
Yeah.
You'd be thinking of stuff like halfling or human or anything that would give you charisma.
Dragonborn's
like
another good one.
Or
Tiefling gives you charisma.
half elf.
Yeah, half elf.
So this opens up the door because you don't necessarily have to have that higher charisma because you're spellcasting.
Yeah.
This is the possibility if you wanted to make it a role play thing, because this is obviously going to be more of a role play.
Yeah.
Based on conversations and even before the possibility of a fight breaking out, being like, hey, let's talk about this, or you really don't want to do this, or I swear we're your friends.
Yeah.
It opens up the door to orcs, half-orcs, Goliaths, Kalishtar, Kinkus, the stuff that would be kind of like one of those off-the-wall bards.
Yeah,
but
I get
this
that.
could really fit in well, because what do you usually not see a bard doing? Wielding a great club.
That's true.
A Goliath.
Hold on now.
Bard
Side
wielding
note.
a great club, or what's another two-handed weapon that's not martial? I think the great club might be the only one.
Spear's versatile.
Yeah, I'm talking about like an actual two-handed weapon, because I think
That's a good question. I can pull up a list real quick.
yeah, I was about to say, because I think it might be the only simple weapon that is technically a heavy two-handed. Because I think the lance, glaive, and halberd are all considered martial. The warhammer's considered martial, I believe. And obviously, the great sword is, and the great axe.
Yeah, that's the Great Club's the only actual two-handed one.
Yeah. Yep, it is. But yeah, just think there for a second. A Goliath bard with a cello on his back, you know,
Yeah.
wielding a great club.
The cello is his Great Club.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because, like, fun fact about...
But he plays it like a stand-up bass.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
jazz bard.
He's so big that, like, he just plays one of those, like, standing basses.
Yeah.
Like an actual, like a modern bass where he just holds it.
Wow. Yes.
Man. Yeah, so there's definitely ways to make the bard more viable even without spell casting.
Yeah.
You don't get a whole lot from some subclasses that don't rely on magic. Like College of Lore, you get more additional magic secrets.
Yeah, College of Creation
you don't
requires a lot of magic.
Yeah.
And College of Glamour, I think, requires a little bit of magic too.
Yeah, and then you got the College of Spirits, which allows you to use different types of things for spellcasting focus and gives you the guidance cantrip.
And the whole reason I say College of Whispers is because, yeah, I know it's magically infused, but it's not technically spellcasting. It's less magical than those other three that we mentioned.
I don't think Glamour, I think it's falls under that same category.
Glamour kind of falls under the idea of, yeah, you're right, because glamour is kind of like eloquence in the fact that it's more of, hey, I'm pretty, and I need you to like me.
Yeah, with the only thing that I'm seeing that's an actual spellcasting, Mantle of Majesty at 6th level, where you get to cast command. So you're losing one use from your subclass.
Well, here's the big question though, because we talk about how you could do it. If you were to sit down at a table and somebody say, hey, I'm going to play a bard that has absolutely no spell casting, but is instead, because they've already cleared it with the DM, they figured it out with the DM how to make it what they believe to be viable. If you sat down and heard them say, I'm going to play a bard with no spell casting, relying totally on charisma to talk our way in and out of situations, but I've taken stuff from multiple subclasses to make it work and made it. Me and the DM have talked about it where we've made it its own subclass. The College of Words. Yeah, College of Words.
Or College of Speechcraft.
Would you, in that moment, sit there and say, that could work? Or would you be sitting there and saying, I think we're going to struggle?
Oh, so I'm a player in this sense.
Would you sit there and hearing that for the first time because you don't have anything telling you, it's not, you've not seen it played, you've not heard about it much other than just taking multiple things from different subclasses. Would it actually be any good?
Hearing about it, taking multiple things from different subclasses, yeah, I think it's going to be viable.
Yeah.
Because, like, subclasses make the class stronger. And when you combine if you were to combine two different subclasses in one character, like in one class, like...
Well, it's just like multi-classing.
I'm
a single class.
No, I'm saying, like... Yeah, in that instance, it's multi-classing, but this is kind of a side point. If you were... This is a way to make a good broken villain that fits an archetype.
Yeah.
Give them the class, like... make them a barbarian. You want a big bad guy? Give them a barbarian, levels up to,
18th.
Yeah, 18th, or like, it depends on the party's level, Like, make it like 5 levels higher for like lower play or something.
Give them the Bear Totem, the Zealot, and the Storm Herald.
Yeah, honestly, you can just give them 2 and it's still a pretty rough thing.
Yeah.
And you can do that with any class. Wizard, give them 2 schools. Fighter, give them anything except for Purple Dragon Knight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing to think about, too. When you're going in and talking about the bard with absolutely no spell casting, the only thing they're going to be able to do, for the most part, especially for the first few levels, is talk.
Yeah.
Up until about 6th level. 6th level onward, then they're going to be pretty dang good in a fight.
What they're going to be...
They're going to be struggling on is they're not going to have the most health unless they've got a decent constitution. And they're not going to have the best AC unless they've got some magical light armor. Like, say, studded leather +2. So, if they've got a 18 dex, they could have, a 17 AC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's very viable. It's very possible. And, I mean, I know this sounds like a lot of nonsense, and it's kind of off the wall. But if anybody that listens to this has the opportunity to try this, and you do it, please let us know how it goes.
You know what this character is going to be?
What's that?
Have you seen A Knight's Tale?
I have.
Paul Bettany's character. The Herald.
Dude, you're right.
Yeah. That's who this character would be.
Yeah. Extremely good with words, has no magical capability, handy in a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of man, that'd be an interesting D&D party to turn that group from the Knight's Tale into a D&D party.
Yeah.
I feel like what would be a barbarian?
Yeah.
The redhead, what's the Alan Tudyk, his character?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I will fong you. Pain, lots of pain. That's definitely threats from a barbarian with low charisma.
Oh, definitely.
The thing is, he's not that bad in a fight,
Now, here's some interesting updates for TID&D.
We have updates?
Yeah.
Oh.
Slightly. We're still friends with Potato Candy Network, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They haven't disowned us after that whole gambling scandal?
Not yet.
Man.
They didn't know about that.
Darn.
Well, I don't know how much for longer, but we're still somewhat friends with Potato Candy Network. And as long as the schedule holds up and everything kind of goes to plan, we're going to be having them back on our show to talk about, I believe, story writing. Specifically, the experience in writing the stories that they've written, the struggles and the blissfulness that they found in writing it, especially when it comes to going through it with another person and seeing that person either hate that part or love that part, and seeing it come to fruition. So I think that's going to be a really good, topical conversation that we can have and get really deep into just story writing and storytelling.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to that.
I am too.
In the meantime, be sure to go over there to their, website, www.potatocandynetwork.com. You can go to their Facebook page, and I do believe they've got Instagram, and I want to say that I saw on their website that they have a Twitter as well, but I'm not going to, hedge money on that, even though we're gamblers. But go check them out. Marie is doing a fantastic job right now with Blank Scenario, going over the Blank monsters, picking 2 or 3 per episode, and giving some ideas as to how they can be used and used differently, if they're underappreciated or not. Kind of picking her top 3 for those.
Yeah.
Those dudes. And they've also got, in between those, they're coming up with different scenarios and like campaign settings and everything. It's really interesting to listen to. I find myself outside at work when I'm taking my break listening to 5-10 minutes at a time, trying to get through it. But they also have, through their Dreadful Tales podcast, The Island, in which they've just released episode 4, I believe, unless I'm one behind. Casey and Marie, I apologize if I'm wrong.
Also, don't forget this episode is going to be 2 weeks after we record it.
You remind me of that. 5 or 6. They're less than 10 episodes for The Island.
Less than 10, more than 2.
But they are doing a tremendous job on that as well, with the story that they are telling.
Oh yeah,
and the live play that they're doing.
Matter of fact, editing Jeremiah, play the trailer now.
Hello, Bob Spuds on the scene for the Potato Candy Network. Coming up next on Dreadful Tales is The Island, a GURPS Weird West adventure actual play featuring Marie as Clarice Braden and Casey as your narrator. Join us in the days of cowboys, outlaws, and western expansion. But there are untold dangers in the west, and in the furthest reaches of the ocean there are far worse things than monsters.
Once more, your mind returns to the conversation between you and Mr. Bristol. I have you fair and square, Miss Braden. Judge tells me the price for desertion is a long drop with a quick stop. Seems a mite callous to extricate one such as yourself from this world, and as I am opposed to violence against the fair sex, I'm inclined to give you an option.
An option or a devil's deal?
Ways I see it, you owe me, ma'am.
Well, never let it be said. Clarice Braden always pays her debts. Can I just take a moment looking up, just as grandiose as I can, pulling from every single snake charm salesman that I've possibly run across. Just hands out with the dagger and just bow. You're expecting a war deserter to go out and find a boat from 2 years ago? This isn't exactly my expertise.
I'm expecting you to do what you always done and save your own hide.
That is an expertise.
Make your choice. You don't have much time.
I'll pull up my gun and aim it.
Every single time. Okay.
You asked if I wanted to fight.
If this is where your character dies, this is where your character
dies. You said knowing he
Okay.
did really good or really bad. I don't know what that means. And how long has this been your home? It's lovely.
Ever since I was hatched.
Hatched or made?
Would you like something to eat?
The ship, the Intrepid, will be leaving in no more than a week from today. From what I understand, should be smooth sailing.
This is what you see emerging from the shadows.
Okay.
On the back of this horse is a huge, huge person. However, you cannot see a face. It is completely covered head to toe in black. So, Miss Braden, you will go find my ship. You will find it. And you will report back to me. Are we clear?
As crystal.
How badly did you fail?
17.
You critical failed.
17.
Looking in front of you, you see what can only be described as a bone sticking up out of the sand. A bleached white bone. As you look around, it is dark, except for the moon that is shining, and off in the distance you see the silhouette of a rather large island.
That trailer still gets me.
Yeah, that was a good trailer.
It's a really good trailer.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot better than the Dreadful Six's trailer, because I just did the intro. I didn't have the first episode edited to the point to where I could put in a trailer
Yeah.
or anything. So,
But speaking of other shows, we got the Dreadful Six, Dragon's Bane.
yeah,
We had episode release?
2.
Episode 2 release. When was that? I think it was like April 4th.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
No, it was March 25th.
March 25th. Well, don't
Yeah,
forget to add
it's
2
the-
weeks
What do you mean?
because it's going to be 2 weeks after this uploads.
Well, I mean, I get that, but episode 1 of the Dreadful Six, Dragon's Bane, released on February 25th. Episode 2 released on March 25th. Episode 3 is coming out. I'm going to upload it on April 29th.
Yeah.
So, and 2 weeks from today, yeah, I think that's going to be right.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I would love to have the time and opportunity to put out more than one episode per month.
but we ain't got that.
We don't have the time. Everybody that is working on it does work full time,
Yeah.
and it's not easy to get. It's not exactly easy to get 25 to 30 pages written in 3 weeks, and then have that recorded and then edited within that month's time, while working full time and
Yeah.
working for TID&D and writing my own game and everything. So
We're a bunch of busy bees over here.
yeah.
Also, why don't we do why don't we make like you know how Potato Candy has their own like network and then they got the shows that underneath that?
Yeah.
I think we should do that.
I mean, it'd be a good idea.
Yeah. We call it like Space Castle Studios.
Space Castle Studios.
I like it. It just flows.
I mean, it is good.
It doesn't even have to like make sense. Space Castle. Why Space Castle? Why not?
Yeah, because I looked into it, and I think J&R Studios is taken by some photographers in Georgia,
Man,
which I don't think we'd have any problems out of them.
we'll just include them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what we know as of right now, and we are going to continue with our new series of the top X monsters of CRX. So, as in last week, you heard it was the top, I think it was 11 for CR quarter.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing CR half next week, as far as our recording, or in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. 2 weeks after this episode, stay tuned for our top X CR half monsters.
Yeah, 'cause we have yet to make the list.
And we still haven't come up with a new scale for it either.
Yeah, because I'm not going to fall into that awkward phase of saying that the Goblin is Peter Dinklage again.
Listen, I'll tell you something though.
Because, I mean, he might find it funny, he might not.
I don't think we're big enough for Peter Dinklage to like find out we said that we rated a goblin Peter Dinklage on a scale from what was it? Chris
It was Liam Hemsworth.
Hemsworth up to like
Robin Williams.
yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna make a whole new celebrity list for 1 through 10,
Yeah.
and Liam Hemsworth is still gonna be at the bottom.
We're gonna put Logan Paul as number 1, actually. We're gonna change it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Actually
he listens to the podcast. He could sue us for defamation.
so he
Yeah,
does
he's
that
not gonna get any money out of us.
he does that himself. Honestly, here's the thing. If he listens to it, he's gonna make a video about it and then we're gonna get more press.
Hey.
So Logan Paul, suck my left nut. And your brother too. Both you Paul brothers. I don't even know if they're still relevant anymore.
But
Who
no,
cares?
we're going to continue in that, and I do believe we're going to try to go all the way up to CR30,
Nice.
which is going to give us, plenty of material.
It's gonna be terrible material.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad material because we're going to get to the point where there's only going to be like 3 or 4.
Our top there's like some CR levels where there's no monsters for them. We're just gonna upload an episode. It's like our top CR 29.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're obviously not going to make up CR29. If it goes from CR27 to CR30, we'll just go straight to CR30.
No, I think we need to include the 28 and the 29 if there is.
Well, I can
none.
already tell you we're going to have to talk about the eucalyptoids, or the eucalyptids on CR6,
Six, wasn't it?
because I think there's only a couple CR6 monsters. or enemies, as we like to say.
No, monsters.
So we've got that coming up, and we're going to be doing some fill-in stuff in between.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll do an episode where we try to see if a barbarian would be any good without his rage.
I mean, no. It wouldn't be.
I mean, you still got an impressive health pool. That's about it.
Yeah, but you're not getting your resistance to anything.
Or that plus to the damage.
Yeah.
You're really...
Well, screw the plus the damage. It's the survivability that you're losing from resistance to some kind of damage, along with all the other stuff that you're getting from all the other subclasses that rage leads into.
Yeah, so, I mean...
So...
Pretty much what you would have is just a guy who's tough to kill with anger management.
What about a sorcerer who, instead of a draconic bloodline, was a frog bloodline?
A frog bloodline
sorcerer.
Bro, give me him and
like a slad.
Put that man in my underwater campaign.
Exactly.
We already have an underwater sorcerer. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll work.
One of these days, I'm going to make like a pirate ship of NPCs, and they're just like all these subclasses that can breathe underwater and whatnot.
Arrgh. We breathe under the water, ye.
We them water breathing boys.
But yeah, in the meantime,
stay tuned and see what controversial things that we can do to gain publicity. Thanks for listening to Theoretical Insights of D&D.
We'll see you in the next one.
It's D&D!